Today we are here to compare LT9 Alpha to LT 8. So recently I've been thinking a lot about what I want LT 9 to be, and I have a huge decision I need to make now. Are we going to stick to 1.7, or are we going to go to 1.10? Now, the big part of this is that LT 9 is the performance update. It's gonna have a lot less mods than over here, which is actually getting pretty close already, somehow. But anyway, it's all about performance, and it could be about the future. Because if we go to 1.10, everything is going to be updating to 1.10. And we'll be able to continue on with all the other mods that come out and whatnot. As, like, Forge is sticking around in 1.10 now. If we go back to 1.7, where we're currently at, we have all of this time where we pretty much have every mod that was possible to make in 1.7 in 1.7. It's had so long to develop. But now let's get into some performance tests and actually see what goes on. So I'm just using the Britannia review world for LT V8 here, but it'll be fine. We didn't do too much. And I've already conducted this test, but what's interesting, if I close out of here, first of all, load it up faster. Well, maybe. It might have loaded up faster. Clear. Secondly, let's check the actual FPS here. I've already done this test, but it turns out that LT 8 is actually faster FPS, despite it having more things in the world that are buggy and lag-inducing. And more importantly, let's talk about the bugs. So in LT 8, I know that there's a lot of bugs, but a lot of those can be resolved by simply shortening the pack to what it's going to be in LT 9. Actually, that freeze, I don't know what's up with that. I'm going to need to find out what's up with that, because it's kind of annoying and happens often. But anyway, I want to show a bug that may be fixed at some point, but we're going to see. It seems to be any multi-block in, well, any block that counts for multiple spaces in 1.10 lags the heck out of the game. So let's get a windmill. Okay, not gonna lie, that lags the game in LT 8 as well. That's a big problem. No wonder my base is always so laggy. Huh. You know, it might stay like that now. Here, I'm just gonna place it again and see if it causes it again. I mean, that looks like it did something. Come on. No, that didn't. Okay, it didn't actually do anything to the FPS. So, in LT 8, that's fine. You go over to LT 9 Alpha, which actually I was looking at Cork, because Cork is a mod that wouldn't be in there if we went back to LT 8, which is sad. But anyway, build up here, Put a dynamo on top. And you put a windmill on it. It's just as bad as microblocks. Look at that. Flat, like 20 FPS there. So laggy. That's a definite change just from one windmill. You can even like just visually notice that too. And also, the image on the left here, LTNOW, is actually in the advantage right now because it's got Optifine installed. For whatever reason, I don't have Optifine installed on LTNOW 8, but that's a huge bonus to FPS and like the looks of all these things. Like you can see the like trees are like, I don't know how to explain it. Shivering. They're shivering trees. That may be actually, I'm pretty sure that's a vanilla thing that they fixed, but Optifine helps with that as well. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some other changes. Boats in 1.9 work. That's something. But Archimedes is not in 1.9. Carpenter's blocks is not in 1.9. I do not know if those two will ever update. Actually, I mean 1.10, but they're basically the same thing. But I know for sure that there are two mods that are in here that I would like to have that are for definite not going to be in 1.10. Those mods include the Nexus mod, for the fact that it stopped updating completely. Actually, I think it's called Invasion. Invasion mod. Yeah, it wasn't even supposed to make it to 1.7, but it did. So, you know. And secondly, Reika's mods, including things like Rotary Craft, Reactor Craft, Chromatic Craft, that awesome Thaumcraft add-on, basically. It's not actually a Thaumcraft add-on, but I mean, that's pretty much what we've used it for. Geostrata, which was cool. It was cool. And I'm sure that we have another one. I can't quite think of it, though. But those are all great mods. And, yeah, they may update eventually, but that eventually is like months and months, if not like an entire year, because Reika's not started working on it yet, according to a Reddit post, and not even an official one, by the way, and that she most likely will, because everyone's moving to 1.10. But yeah, it's gonna be a very long time, and it's the like least staffed kind of mod that's out there, or mods. So another thing to look at is the kind of things that are going to change in like these newer versions. So there's extra utilities too, which actually I don't like extra utilities too, which is kind of a problem because it's like an amazing mod in 1.7. I don't have it installed on LTNOW just because I don't like it. It's bad, I believe, anyway. But there's also random things, which may have gotten some changes. I'm pretty sure it has. Oh yeah. So what actually has been added here? A lot. Including all the lamps and most of the stuff that made this cool. Unfortunately. Entity. Does this have an entity detector? If so, it might not be that big of a difference, but... Come on. I guess not. I remember the 1.7 version of this mod being better than it was, but it must not be true. Well, anyway, there's a whole bunch of things in the 1.10 version now. Let's actually get rid of that. And like the potion vaporizer, which is basically applying lingering potions to a room. The contact button, contact lever, which are like kind of like pressure pads that go on walls. Kind of. You still have to right click them though. You got the rain sensor, or rain shield, I mean. The good old block breaker, which isn't needed in 1.7. Super lubricant ice, whatever that is. We might want to try that. Because that's something that's definitely not in 1.7. Is it actually good, or is it just weird ice? I mean, it just seems like ice. There's a whole bunch of biome blocks, which is bad. No, why can't they be in 1.7? 1.7 would have been great for that. I would have liked that, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, a lot of things from random things that would be amazing. That are amazing. I don't know, maybe not the most amazing stuff. We'll have to decide here. Okay, well anyway, another big thing is that Mariculture 2 is coming out for 1.10, and also Applied Energistics 3 or RV4, something like that. And those, especially the Applied Energistics, may bring some very, very valuable things to the table. We already have a mod called Refined Storage, which isn't better than Applied Energistics 2 yet, in my opinion. I do like it better than Applied Energistics 2, currently, because it removes channels, pretty much the only reason. But actually, I think you can disable channels. I might try that sometime. But anyway, it's going to be an update to Mariculture. I definitely want Mariculture. It's a great mod. I thought it actually added more stuff than it actually did, but I'm still happy with what it does add. It adds great enchantable rings, fish, and a couple machines. Not really anything worthy. But yeah. So that's pretty much what I have to talk about. Now let's just do like a quick test here. Run around in this world. So I could add Biomes Plenty to Lizardtech 8 or Lizardtech 9, that's in 1.7, I mean. So this is all possible in 1.7. And actually the Biomes Plenty Nether stuff isn't even out yet for 1.10. So that's exclusive to 1.7. And we'd also have things that aren't out yet, like Ender expansion, and, well, that brought me to another conclusion. Thaumcraft is getting a major update as well. It's becoming Thaumcraft 5 instead of Thaumcraft 4, which is a big deal. It's not currently out yet for 1.10, but it's definitely updating, and it's definitely going to be later than 1.7 exclusive, I believe. But we're really going to have to think of what exactly are we going to stay back and be able to have the mod pack both sooner with possibly more, look, I'm even getting lag here, and that's with Optifine. With more options for the pack as well, or are we going to stay with the newer version, which is going to have more lag issues, kind of, but also official, like, development stages by, why can't I think today? I don't understand. Okay. Are we going to stick with the newest version of Minecraft, which may have more FPS problems? And actually, let's go into another thing. RAM. Now, Dragon Leader has 2 gigabits of RAM. Both of these use more than 2 gigabits of RAM. And that's a big problem. And actually, I thought that the LT9 Alpha that I currently have running used 1 gigabit, but then I found out that the settings are actually 4 max by default. So it's actually not better RAM-wise, to just keep in mind. But anyway, we are definitely upgrading to LT9. I don't know about whether we're going to go into 1.10 or not. The point of this video, you know. So, if there's anyone out there who still watches my channel, I'd like to see your opinion on the situation, as that would really help me decide. Chances are I'm going to have to decide for myself, and it really has changed a lot. Yeah. I am currently leaning towards 1.7. And honestly, after okay, there's one more variable to this equation. Chisels and bits. Now this is a very big one, and also a kind of, how to explain. So it's a very big one because of all the creativity that is involved within being able to create your own blocks and whatnot. But it's also slightly unbalanced. Chances are this unbalance may be fixed and is not really a big deal currently. But right now, you can change a block to however you want it to look, basically, by taking the parts of other blocks and putting them into that block. Now, the example I have for you is, you have a chest, right? And someone takes a single pixel out of the back of your chest, and you wonder, why the heck is my chest not working? And then you find out that it's been chiseled in bits by going F3 and looking at it, or having a Wayla installed. Do you strip down the chest with your, like, chiseling tool and rebuild it up, having to chisel out a whole nother chest to get that position? Or do we not include chisels and bits so that stuff like that doesn't happen? Because that's a major troll there, being able to just do that. The next variable, probably the biggest one out of all of them, is the changes to moving and entities in 1.10. So we have upgraded pistons, basically. they've been massively changed and massively improved. Mostly because of the addition of the slime block. But what I've found is that actually most blocks cannot be pushed by a piston, which kind of removes the point of them, in my opinion. So like if you have a door, you can push up your door, you know, it's not a problem. But you could do that just with the piston below it as well. And then you wouldn't have to walk on a slime block. And also, don't say that it acting as a trampoline is consideration, because I've tested and it's really not that amazing for what it should be. In my opinion, at least. Actually, it worked that time. Why the heck did it work that time? I don't know. This game is weird. Okay, so it is a good trampoline. That may be something to take into consideration. The other thing to take into consideration is the past of Reika's mods. So Reika's mods have been, in my experience, pretty much, kind of buggy, kind of consistently buggy. But I've seen that Reika's like constantly posting updates, so chances are those things will get fixed eventually. So I should go to Rotorcraft and I can show. I believe that I disabled the gasoline generator. I believe that I had to. If I didn't, I should have, because yeah, that currently destroys the game. And the fact that chromatic trees burning causes you to have a crash without Mistcraft is just stupid. But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. That's most likely been fixed. In fact, there have been at least like 6 updates since I last played Lizard 8, which is pretty insane because it's only been like 4 weeks, maybe. 4 weeks? Maybe 5 weeks. But yeah, it's still pretty insane. And actually, I'm getting more like 30 FPS here. I think that I consistently get more FPS in the LT9 Alpha. That's also, actually, that brings up another point. It's Optifine over there. Optifine's a great cause for situations like that. Well, we can definitely see that there are major and minor pluses and minuses for both sides. A lot of them. Like, just the sheer, like, palette. The almost palette-like of amount of mods that currently exist for 1.7 is crazy. It's pretty much crazy. And besides the mods that I've already mentioned for 1.10, there's no mod that is stuck at 1.10 that we can't have at 1.7 here, besides Chisels and Bits, which is kind of annoying because that's a major thing for me. I really like Chisels and Bits. But I know that there are people who live without it. There are people who play vanilla Minecraft all the time. They just use slabs to make things look cool, which is weird, but it works. And anyway, this has been Bearded Lizzie. I hope everyone's excited for Lizzie 9. Goodbye, everyone.